and other members that have actually joined us. My name is Yangapo. I'm the Director of Finance for Kabompo Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My full name is Kiliboy Jeff, Acting Chief Committee Clerk and Administrative Officer.
Good morning, and good morning, everyone. My name is Lembo Siachwena, Internal Auditor, Kabompo Town Council.
Thank you very much. Permanent witnesses, we can introduce ourselves, starting with on my left here.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members. Good morning, Council Secretary and your team. My name is Patricia Malaila, Director in charge of Northwestern Provincial Audit Office. I'll ask my colleagues to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members. Good morning, CS and the team. I'm Siwira Eddy, Principal Auditor, Solwezi Audit Office.
Good morning. My name is Luvinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Tom Bamkoro, Under Budget Office.
Good morning, Chair and Honorable Members of Parliament. Good morning, Kabompo. My name is Jeffan Siame from the Office of Control of Internal Audit, Ministry of Finance. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members of this committee, and good morning, Kabompo Town Council. My name is Joyce Kubansa from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members of the committee. Good morning, Kabompo. My name is Mombasaka from the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Office of the Accountant General. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Chairperson, good morning to you and happy Friday, Chair. Honorable Members, good morning. Mr. Kalunga and your team, good morning. Chilimboi Elijah is my name. I'm from the Office of the Clerk of National Assembly, and you're welcome.
Thank you very much for those introductions. Honorable Members of Parliament, starting from Dundumwezi.
Chair, good morning, and good morning, my colleagues, Members of Parliament, our permanent witnesses, good morning. Kabompo Town Council, good morning, and you are welcome. My name is Singombe Edgar. In Parliament, I present Dundumwezi constituency. Compliments of the season.
Chairperson, good morning. Good morning, permanent witness. Good morning, Kabompo Town Council. My name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavunga constituency, and the member of this committee. Chairperson, I thank you.
Mfumba.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, and good morning. Good morning, Honorable colleagues. Good morning, our permanent witnesses. Good morning, viewers and listeners out there. Good morning, Kabompo Council. You are welcome to this committee, your committee. My name is Elliot Kamondo, Member of Parliament from Mfumbwe constituency. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, Kabompo, and welcome to your committee. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petauke district.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary. My name is Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose, representing the wonderful people of Chasefu constituency, Eastern Province, and privileged to chair your committee on local government accounts. You're welcome once again. You can take us through our memorandum.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning once again. Chair, permit me at this time to take this honorable house through the memorandum of the controlling officer on a review of operations of local authorities on the audit of accounts for local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. Chair, my memorandum is in two sections. Section A addresses the specific audit findings that are found in paragraph 79 of the main body. Then section B addresses the appendices that are outlined as indicated on the letter, Chair. I'll go specifically to key issues, Chair, on section A. I think the first query, Chair, is about the income, expenditure and budget analysis that was done by the auditors. So straight away pick a cause of query on page 2. I go to management response. The first query, management wishes to state that the query was caused by the Ministry of Local Government withholding funds at source from the Local Government Equalization Fund for Zulao and LASIF respectively. Chair, you are aware that the union made a plea to the ministry to withhold contributions for LASIF and Zulao. The action taken, management wishes to state that the council has increased on the local revenues budgets for the financial year 2025 after overcollection was observed. Appendix 1, Chair, will highlight the details as I've explained. The remedial measures, management will continue to collect the budgeted revenues. B, Chair, it's on a performance again, where the council was queried for overcollection of about 457,993, kwacha representing 13% over the budgeted revenue. The table on page 3, Chair, highlights what the auditor's analysis when they looked at the budget and the performance. The cause of query, Chair, management wishes to state that the query was a result of overcollection. The action taken, management acknowledges auditor's findings and wishes to state that the council has continued to sensitize the communities on the importance of paying taxes and permits, because this is the reason why we had received favorable response. It's because at least the community were made aware. Appendix 2, Chair, we highlight the facts pointing to this submission. On remedial measures, Chair, council will continue to sensitize the community on regulations. Query 2, Chair, its failure to achieve performance target. I must hasten to mention, Chair, that the table following on page 4 was the assessment that the auditors did when they looked at the output targets that were in our budgets. And what we have done to respond, we've duplicated the same table and provided the responses on page 5.
So you can just go to your queries through cause of query.
So I'll start with number 1, Chair. The cause of query was about the variance of 2 health posts. We had planned to construct 4, but at
As a matter of guidance, you can go to page 5. Go to page 5.
page 5, Chair, yes.
Read management response, just cause of query. The query was caused by council's failing to meet performance targets of 703.
Okay.
I will take that to action taken.
Okay, Chair. Thank you, Chair. The cause of query, Chair, the query was caused by council failing to meet the performance output targets of 703. So the action taken, I'll just read the action, the query part and the action, but highlighting the variances. 2 health posts were not constructed in the variance. Then the cause of query, 2 health posts were not approved by the CDF committee. The 2 health posts at the action taken have since been budgeted for in the 2025 budget, so they'll be executed under this current one. The second one, the cause of query, the 14 groups did not qualify because they didn't meet the prescribed criteria. These were the people that were marked to receive loans in terms of support from CDF. So the action taken, the groups have since met the criteria and they have accessed their loans. I'll skip the 2 they were achieved. So as guided, Chair, let me go to the ordinary council meeting held. The meeting was held. It was supposed to read, Chair, sorry for that omission, it was supposed to read in the previous year because the calendar of the civic year calendar starts in September, the preceding month just after elections, and ends in August. So this was the provisional budget. So the meeting has since taken place, Chair.
So CS, let's go to page 9. Remedial measures, appendix 3, remedial measures. Okay. Let's go straight to management of local government equalization fund. We have noted the schedules there.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Chair, management of local government equalization fund, that is a 20% capital project. The cause of query, Chair, we move to page 10, is failure to undertake the installation of street lights amounting to 200,000 kwacha. The action taken, management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the council advertised the projects on EGP and all of them were non-responsive due to allocated funds. The council has since forwarded the same in the current year. Appendix 4, Chair, will highlight to the adverts that failed that were run on EGP. On the remedial measures, Chair, the management endeavors to deliver the services within time. The second query, Chair, on query number 2, the query was on the manner in which the auditors found the block making machine. So the cause of query was the poor storage of a block making machine and a concrete mixer.
So what you do say is, yes, when you go to the way you proceed, you read poor storage of block making machine and concrete mixer. Then you go to the cause of query. The cause of query is poor storage of block making machines and concrete mixer. Then you take us through you read the heading.
Not a Chair.
Okay. We can come again. Poor storage, you read that one and
the cause of query is poor storage of block machine and concrete mixer. The action taken, management acknowledges the auditor's
findings. Go to the cause of query. You are reading number 2 there. Are we together?
Yes, I'm on number 2, Chair.
2, Roman numeral 2. You read poor storage of block making machine and concrete mixer being the query. Then you say the cause of query, which is down there. The cause of query is poor storage of block making machines and concrete mixer. Then you take us on you read the cause of query, you go to the action taken. That's the order.
Noted, Chair. So as guided, Chair, the poor storage of block making machine and concrete mixture. So the cause of query was poor storage of a block making machine and concrete mixture. Then the action taken, Chair, management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the council has since secured the machine in a newly refurbished structure. And management has since applied to ZESCO for connection of power because we need a 3-phase to operationalize this equipment. So appendix number 5, Chair, will indicate what structure and the condition in which the equipment is now. So in remedial measures, management will continue to secure council properties and operationalize as soon as it reaches the premise. We can move on, Chair, to cross-cutting issues. Appendix 1. In the appendix, it's Kabompo Town Council and...
You read audit opinion.
The audit opinion, sorry, Chair. So the audit opinion on Kabompo Town Council was unqualified, both for 2022 and 2023. Remedial measures. Management wishes to state that it will continue to prepare the financial statements according to the financial regulations. Chair, this is the reason why we've had successive years of unqualified statement opinion on our financial statements. Appendix 2, budget findings and expenditure. The table highlights, Chair, the budget amount and amount received, then the variance and brought forward funds, then total funds available, then amount spent and amount unspent. So the cause of query, Chair, in this category, the query was caused by unspent funds of 1,217,673. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the funds have since been utilized, leaving a balance of 200,000, which is meant for street lighting. Appendix 6, Chair, highlights the ledger of expenditures.
Management's remedial measures?
So remedial measures, management endeavors utilizing funds within the financial year. Appendix 5, Chair. Appendix 15, Chair, is overemployment of staff. The cause of query. The query was caused by overemployment of 14 staff. Action taken. Management acknowledges the auditor's finding and wishes to state that the excess number of 14 employees were as a result of revenue collection points which were opened, and there was also an increase in the tonnage of wastage at the market. So this category of staff that were increased were revenue collectors and the general workers for garbage collection. Management has since written to the Local Government Service Commission, the local government, just for the expansion of establishment on the categories earmarked. Because looking at the current scenario, those categories are the foot soldiers that do most of the work on the ground. Appendix 7, Chair, alludes and speaks to the submissions that I've put to this August House. The remedial measures, management endeavors to deliver services on time. Appendix 16, failure to fill vacant positions. The table highlights the establishment of Kabompo or the town council, which auditors speak, which is supposed to be at 144. Then they discovered the filled positions were 18 and the vacant positions were 55. So the cause of query, the query was caused by failure by the council to fill 55 vacant positions. Action taken. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the matter was brought to the attention of the Local Government Service Commission, who have since started deploying staff. So far the council has received the assistant director, and this is director engineering, the procurement officer and others as Appendix 8 attached letters of appointment from the commission of the staff that have started coming in. The remedial measures, Chair, management endeavors service provision within the available manpower. Appendix 20, failure to secure properties with title deeds. 11 properties were queried. The cause of query, Chair, is the query was as a result of failure by council to secure 11 council properties with title deeds. Action taken. Management acknowledges auditor's findings and wishes to state that the council submitted documents to the Ministry of Lands for site processing, title processing. So see attached response letters from the Ministry of Lands. Further, the Ministry of Government, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has directly engaged now the Ministry of Lands on behalf of councils to expedite the process, because the process has really been very slow. So Appendix 9, Chair, contains the attachment speaking to the submissions. Remedial measures. Management endeavors to ensure titles are acquired on time. Appendix 21, failure to insure motor vehicles and buildings. So 3 motor vehicles were identified as uninsured at the time of audit. So the cause of query was failure to insure 3 motor vehicles by the council. Action taken. Management acknowledges auditor's findings and wishes to state that the vehicles had broken down during the financial year under review, and the council has since insured all the 3 vehicles. Appendix 10, I think, are discs and submissions in form of proof of insurance in the current state. So remedy measures, management endeavor timely insurance of motor vehicles. Appendix 23, Chair, is poor management of waste. The query was on unfenced dump site. So the cause of query, the query was as a result of failure by the council to fence the dump site. Action taken. Management acknowledges auditor's findings and wishes to state that the dump site has been moved to a new site where clearing and excavation has been done and yet to be fenced. Appendix 11 is just a site plan, I think, of the new site that was actually identified. Remedial measures, management to endeavor to ensure fencing of dump site within time. Appendix 26, failure to dispose of unserviceable motor vehicles. During the time of audit, 7 vehicles were identified in the state of being disposed. Cause of query, the query was caused by failure to dispose of 7 unserviceable motor vehicles by the council. The action taken, Chair, management acknowledges auditor's findings and wishes to state that the council entered into a memorandum of understanding with a company called Connect Zambia to rehabilitate the unserviceable motor vehicles. And so far the process has begun and proceeded well, where 2 vehicles have been completed. So Appendix 12 indicates the vehicles in the old and new state of repair. The remedial measures, management endeavors to deliver services on time. Appendix 27, failure to install and maintain street lights. The cause of query, the query was caused by failure to install and maintain one street light by the council. Action taken, management acknowledges auditor's findings and wishes to state that the pole was bashed into and the matter was brought to the attention of the police during the financial year under review. However, the matter was resolved and the pole has since been erected. Appendix 13 is a picture indicating the pole in its now repair state. The remedial measures, management endeavors to timely deliver services. Appendix 28, it's failure to settle statutory obligations. Cause of query, the query was caused by failure to settle 5,055,321 statutory obligation and others by the council. Action taken, management acknowledges auditor's findings and we should state that the council has a payment plan in place to liquidate a past debt and it is now up to date with the current obligations. Appendix 14 will elaborate more on my submission, Chair. Remedial measures, management has begun undertaking commercial ventures such as block making and fish farming as budgeted within the current year. This is in a bid just to enhance our revenue capacity to meet our statutory debt and other dates as mentioned. Appendix 29, failure to settle staff obligations. The cause of query, the query was caused by failure to settle statutory obligations amounting to 3,596,429. Action taken. Management acknowledges auditor's findings and wish to state that the council has also put a payment plan to liquidate the past debt and has since been paying currently on those obligations. So Appendix 15 is also an attachment just to express management or remedial measures. Management has started undertaking commercial ventures like block making, as I indicated, and fish farming. In this year's budget, I think this will be a bid to raise revenues that will help us execute this mandate, Chair. Appendix 31, Management of Local Government Equalization Fund. The cause of query, the query was caused by failure by council to utilize a total available fund of 1,927,200 kwacha. Management action taken. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the funds stated above have since been utilized with a balance of 200,000 meant for street lights, which I mentioned and alluded to earlier that were not undertaken. So Appendix 6, Chair, will elaborate on the submissions supporting the expenditure. Remedial measures, management endeavors to deliver services on time. Chair, with this submission, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Council Secretary, for that submission. Honorable members, I can see two hands already. We start with Honorable Mulunda, then Honorable Singombe.
Chairperson, thank you very much for the opportunity. Chairperson, I'll take you to page 10 and page 15. Page 10, Chairperson, is on poor storage of block making machine and the concrete mixture. Chairperson, I'm wondering if the council, if these properties really belong to this local authority, to Kabompo Town Council, and which fund did they use to be keeping this equipment in this state? And the Chairperson, I want to seek, after getting which fund, is it CDF or locally generated or government grant, that they can keep the machinery or the equipment in this state, and it took the auditors to save the machines. If that is not negligence, Chairperson, then I need to be educated. The 15, on page 15, Chairperson, is the insurance of 3 motor vehicles. So we have to insure motor vehicles. Everyone owns a car where they are, I have no doubt, and I don't need to ask each one of them, and their vehicles are insured. Why should you have these vehicles uninsured? From the submission of the Council Secretary, he said in the year under review, these vehicles were broken down. But from the evidence that you submitted on the appendix 10, you realize that you got the insurance covers this year. This is 2023 report. But you got the covers this year on the 15th, that was last week, right? 15th of January 2025. When did you get these vehicles out of the garage? When did you receive them out of the garage? Was it in 2023 or 2025 or 2024? Or can you provide evidence when these vehicles actually came out of the garage? Do you have the job cards? Chairperson, I see negligence. I thank you, Chairperson.
Before I allow Honorable Singombe, it's quite loaded. He has asked only 2 queries. So I'll ask you to respond to those 2, then we move on to the next set. It's an addition. Okay, you can.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Honorable Member for Siavonga has asked about the job cards.
Pull the mic near you.
Yes. The Honorable Member for Siavonga has asked for the job cards for the vehicles if they were actually not in use and they were being repaired. So I wanted to add on that one. Job cards would come also with the payment vouchers. Could you also avail to this committee the payment vouchers to show that indeed the vehicles were repaired and the payments were done?
Okay. CS, you can take those.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me start appreciating the question from Honorable, the good voice of Siavonga. We take note of the concerns, but you know, when things are done in pictorial form, Chair, you may feel as if the block making was just thrown in disarray. This, at the time of purchase, let me first start to respond with a source of funding. This was a capital project under the then 20% local government equalization funding. It was an initiative to try and expand our revenue, and the council decided that we go into block making. So at the time of purchase, we had we've got only one storage at the council. So this picture was taken inside the storage shop, but in a manner in which the block making was actually found. That is the way the auditors queried that it was not actually kept in a sufficient manner. But you may recall that this equipment are normally kept outside on operation. So we kept it here at the time that we were preparing a bay and the small secure storage place which I did indicate that it has been moved now into a secure place. So that is the reason the auditors found it in this report.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just a point of clarification. The query is on page 10 down there. Poor storage of block making and concrete, block making machine and concrete mixer. This is the query. Poor storage of the machines. And these are the auditors who saw that the machines were not stored properly. You have also acknowledged by saying now we have put them in the proper storage. But in your response, you start by saying that when you look at them, they look to be in this state, but they were okay. So I wanted to correct you. Are you arguing with the auditor's observation?
Not really, Chair. My point was, the point I wanted to drive home is in the condition that the auditors depicted. When we procured this was just done as a temporary measure to secure. Immediately we received the asset. As we were working on the place where it will be received, which we've actually indicated on a drawing, this is where we have actually moved into now. So when it came for security purposes, we've only got one storage shed that has a lot of things just maybe put in just for safety purposes. So this is a place that we undertook to secure our equipment.
So you are not comfortable with this query? You feel that where they were and the state in which they were, it was just okay? That's what you are saying?
I don't know, that's a position.
So what are you driving?
The point I'm trying to drive home is the security in the interim that we arrived at as we were looking at the other.
Honorable Munda,
just CS, we are not saying maybe you've got storage or anything like that. But what we are saying, if you explained the way you are explaining now to the committee, you explained that to the auditors would have understood and would have dropped this query. But in our minds, it creates, an impression that this appeared to be a neglected equipment, or maybe it has been there for some time and they got worried that this thing is not supposed to be stored like that. We are pretty aware that yes, these machines operate outdoor. They are supposed to be there outside there. But the state they found them. All we want is for you to appreciate that the query came because they got worried and we are just following the query. If you don't have storage, yes, we appreciate you don't have storage. But they queried, and you, just like the chairperson has confirmed, you have now said, no, we have secured the place. And that's the place that maybe the auditors wanted. If you had explained to them and said, okay, right, you have found it here, but give us a few days, because when they come to audit, I think they take 2 weeks or so. At the time of management later, would have said this one now can't be a query because this is what we have done. I think that's what the chair is trying to say.
Don't spoil your good response. Yourselves, what you could have said, you have answered very well on the action taken. We have now secured them in a better place. You move on. Now you want to tell this committee, challenge the auditors as if you say when you look at pictorial it's like they are not in a good state. You may spoil your good report. Proceed to say we have now, because this was a query, the state in which they were was not okay, or maybe the storage as a query, and you have responded that now you have secured them. Move on, CS.
No, I received the council chair, and that's a position taken. We appreciate the concerns, Honorable, and we are going just to move at the supersonic speed to make sure we operationalize. And we appreciate the auditors too, because it was also a query looking at the funds spent and the position and the condition in which they found the equipment was not telling and speaking to the actual facts on the ground.
So you can proceed to respond to the other question.
So, but 15 on insurance, Chair, I think the Honorable looked at the dates of the insurance of the motor vehicles. So the focus, if you heard from my submission, the focus were on the vehicles that were written off almost to be sold off, that we worked on. So if you go to appendix appendix 12, appendix 12 was showing us the two equipment in pictorial before. So that the first one is a tipper truck, which chair should have been sold at very less money, but if you go to the second page, that is a new state,
Chair,
in which the picture is now.
Chair, I'm guided by his submission on appendix 10.
Appendix?
I'm guided from his submission. Was his submission saying action taken, sir?
You can go ahead, Honorable Mulunda.
Action taken on page 15. Management acknowledges auditor's findings and wishes to state that the vehicles had broken down during the financial year under review, and the council has since insured all the 3 vehicles. See appendix 10. That's where I went. Chair, thank you.
So you are now referring us to appendix 12 instead of 10, but the query directs us to go to appendix 15. Yes, it is directing us to appendix 10, but here the response, or your good response, is on appendix 12. There was a mix-up. Are you telling us that there was a mix-up?
Yeah, I appreciate the concern. The appendix referred to in response to the query was appendix 10, which is pointing to the insurance policies that we received. So I brought in the appendix 12 just to amplify on the condition, to qualify on the condition of the vehicles, the state in which they were in, because these were the vehicles in question. So I think the Honorable still have something to raise again.
No, what I wanted to say, sir, is your submission that we are following. So if on appendix 10, you had added to say no, you can even see the state on appendix 12. You would have no issues. But as long as you have not guided, we will go to the length up to where you are taking us. So according to me, it's appendix 12 and it ends.
Let's look at appendix 10. Let's look at appendix 10. So, CS, I can see on appendix 10, which is the insurance cover dated 2025, 15th January, as it was stated by Honorable Mulunda. You just insured the vehicles on the 15th of this month, just when you realized you are coming to appear before this committee. You have answered the query on the 3 vehicles. But the question from Honorable Mulunda was, and is that why did you take that long to insure the vehicles? Only when you realize that's when you are coming. Because this is the culture now with councils. You will not do anything. Even after this interaction, you pack everything. Then when you are about to appear, auditors visit you. You don't manage the audit process very well. When you want to appear before, that's when you make those payments. And where you go, you get the money, suddenly no one knows. So the question is, you have responded. But in your oral submission again, you are referring to so many things that entangles you. You referred to Appendix 12 about the state of the vehicles. You should have ended by saying the insurance has been done as per Appendix 10. Don't go to Appendix 12. You are going to bring out other issues. So my guidance is that you could be okay, but you are so much deviating, and yeah, so that is stick to the query and your response given. So you bring other issues, you create challenges for yourself.
I get your guidance, Chair. Thank you.
I'm guiding you for the first time, for the second time.
Thank you, Chair.
I don't need to continue guiding you. So you will be on course, stick to your lane, answer accordingly. So when you bring other, you open the Pandora's box.
Yes.
Please, yes.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Singombe, then Dr. Mwanza, then we shall go to Honorable Pavyuma.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I have two clarification. Number one is on page 11, where the CS has indicated that management has made an application for the connection of the machine, and is referring us to Appendix 5. My question, Chairperson, at this stage is, you are very much aware that the committee would want to verify by ensuring that all necessary documents are availed to this committee. When you go to Appendix 5, Chairperson, personally, I've only found these machines without an application to ZESCO that has been mentioned to this committee. So I want to find out where is the application so the committee can appreciate when this application was done to ZESCO for them to start utilizing the said machinery. On page 13, Chairperson, it is just a concern that the local authority has referred us to Appendix 7, and when you go to Appendix 7, Chair, I've made 2-3 consultations within my colleagues here. There's nothing. So maybe the local authority can...
on page 13, which query?
Query number... what's query number... Appendix number 15, Chair. They are referring us to Appendix 7.
Overemployment of staff.
Yeah, and there is no document on that appendix. So I just wanted to know what is supposed to be there. Thank you, Chair.
Or the same? Okay. Okay, you can go ahead.
You can actually answer them together with the questions that have been raised by Honorable Singombe. The query that is overemployment of staff. So my query is, I wanted just to find out, why did you employ the excess staff without authority from the Local Government Service Commission or from the ministry, if indeed you required this staff? And then the other one was, what was the source of income to pay the excess staff, the 14? And how much was spent to pay the excess 14 staff during the period under review?
You can attempt those.
Thank you, Chair. Let me start.
Before you go into your response, we were being joined by two members of Parliament. I will start with Honorable Pavyuma. My apologies, I didn't introduce him earlier. Honorable Pavyuma, you can introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chair. Morning to yourself. Morning, honorable members. Good morning, Secretariat. Good morning, all our permanent witnesses. CS and your team from the Northwest. Good morning. Karobo Pavyuma is my name. I represent the good people of Sakere constituency, Kitwe in the Copper Belt.
Honorable Mwene.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good morning to you. Morning, our permanent witnesses. Morning, fellow honorable members of Parliament. Kabombo Town Council. For your own information, Chair, it's not Kabombo but Kabombo. Thank you so much.
Your name?
Hamba Mwene, Member of Parliament for Mangango. Thank you.
So, Kawombo, please respond to those. Yeah, so it's
yes, Chair, it's Kawombo, meaning cold water. That is the name coming or emanating from the Kabombo River. I submit, Chair.
Okay, thank you. CS,
yes,
you are at liberty to engage any one of your technical staff. Where you feel the DF or Director Engineering, you feel they can come in to assist you, you can pass on the mic. Then you can amplify where you think they are. Yes, so we should have this nice conversation so that we get maybe the Director of Finance would show us the Appendix 7, which we have not seen. So
no, we are coming to that, Chair.
Okay.
You, Chair.
So you can start to respond to those.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable has actually reminded us the true name of our place, Kabombo. We will take it that way, Chair. Thank you. Let me just go straight to the first one, which was submitted by the Honorable Member from Dundumwezi on the letter from ZESCO. I acknowledge in the submission, on the attachment, there is no letter that has had put in the correspondence that we forwarded to this August House. But however, Chair, if with your indulgence and permission, I may be allowed maybe just to circulate the letter that we did to ZESCO on 14th, just requesting for the connection of power. This letter was done on 13th July 2024, but it was erroneously not attached. No apology on that one, Chair. The second one, Chair, was on the over-employment. Let me just invite Director Finance just to elaborate more on the reason why we had to enhance and increase the number of revenue collectors. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. There was also another question on the amount spent towards the excess employment. If you kindly also look at the report, the auditors had even depicted the exact amount that was paid to the auditors, I mean to the members of staff, and it was 700,000, 5,763 kwacha. So that was the total amount of money that was spent. And the overemployment of the 14 staff, like stated in the report, it was as a result of the new revenue points which were opened, as well as the garbage collectors who were employed just to increase on the service delivery for Kabombo. Thank you.
Okay. The source?
The source of revenue was actually coming from as a result of the increased revenue, which is the local resource revenue. It's the one that we're using now to top up on their wages submit.
Have we you've finished on those?
Yeah, there were two. The last one I think was on the staff establishment. I think there's a blank page which should have indicated an attachment. The attachment we wanted to refer to that one is the amplified staff establishment. I think even the unions have raised concerns on the number of staff, especially on the lower organs. But we've got a soft copy that we endeavor just to circulate here with your permission. The number indicated on the revenue collectors per local authority is just 3 in that enhanced. But if you look at the major mainstay of survival in councils is local revenue. How do we operate with just 3 staff? And if as submitted, when you want to enhance, we've opened up other sources and other outlets. So those are the people that we enhance and increase just to help us to capture. So the correspondence too was also written in form of a submission to the ministry where we've indicated that we want a justification, maybe an adjustment in an expansion on the lower organ staff, because those are foot soldiers in the council. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, just a follow-up on the same. Okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah, and earlier on actually asked the council secretary to answer a very simple question. When you were employing these excess 14 employees, you didn't seek any authority from the Local Government Service Commission or from the ministry. If you did, do you have any evidence? And if you didn't do, why should you do things on your own without actually seeking authority?
Maybe it's just to answer and amplify on the submission by Honorable. The employees in question were actually working as cash workers, being paid from the resources that were generating locally. So at a time of the government querying and advising on casualization, that's when the resolution was made by the HRMC, the Human Resource Management Committee, to upgrade and employ them, and the matter was forwarded to the Government Service Commission. Because if you see now the enhanced, I think strength and power is also mandated in HRMC to employ at the local level. So we had to take rid of the same provision and powers deposited in the HRMC to actually engage the officers. That was the rationale, Chair, submitted.
Yeah, on the same, it's a very serious concern that has been raised on the bloating of staff in the councils. Whilst these are critical employees who are, you call foot soldiers, who are helping you in the mobilization of revenue, it is important to note the establishment of a town council so that you are within. If you see all the reports, you find that every report of a council, it indicates overemployment of staff. The next query is failure to fill vacant positions. Now, this committee is wondering, this other side you are saying we have overemployed. This other side you want 55 to be so. There must be that interaction with the commission so that they give you the right personnel. Now, do you tell this committee that you are being given employees that you do not need? The employees that you need as Kabompo are those that you are employing yourselves, because you have stated that you have excess staff. The other side, then the other side you're saying you want to fill up positions. Are these positions that you are proposing to the commission the ones that you have, the 14 that you have used to employ on your own? So this is, you need to clarify that matter, so that the commission should not impose employees that you do not need. And this goes to all the councils. Do you tell us that the commission is giving you employees that you do not deserve? employees that you need are the ones that you have proposed. Is that the correct positions? Yes.
No, Chair. Actually, the point I wanted to drive is the separation of responsibilities that the Commission has also subdivided to the local human resource management committees.
Yes, I'm not interjecting.
Yes.
We understand there is district human resource management committees who have been devolved with the responsibility of employing. Now, the Commission is giving you staff and you are indicating that you are overstaffed. There is a query here. The other side, there is a query that you want certain positions to be filled. Are those positions you are proposing to this committee or to the Commission the ones that you are employing under the district human resource management committees? The danger of the devolution is you must reconcile with the set establishment. There is a generic establishment for town councils, municipal councils, and city councils. Now, devolution does not mean that you have this establishment, then you as a council, you start now employing excess staff because of the power at the district. You are going to bloat the establishment that you are going to fail to pay. And we are lucky that you have indicated that even the union has raised an issue over this. That's what affected Mumbwa some time ago, affected Kafue. You know that. There was one person who was moving, bloating the labor force. So we want you to be cautious as you do what you want to do, because they might be foot soldiers. The Commission also are looking at certain positions they are sending officers to. So this should strike a balance so that councils are able to be managed properly. Dr. Mwanza, you had the question. You can respond to my position, to my question before.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Then I will allow many.
Okay, let me just stress on the shortfall that was actually cited by the auditors coming from the mandate of the Commission, the 55. So if we go by the procedure, the Commission is not imposing on councils. In fact, that is emanating from the submission coming from councils, basing on the need to fill critical vacant positions. So councils, in their submission of staff returns, we are also caused to do a submission of those critical vacant positions. If you've seen in the latest, I think, recruitment, Commission has focused to respond to the critical vacant positions that are so key in meeting the deliverables where CDF project execution are concerned. So those are the people, the staff and cadre of employees that have been employed by Local Government Service Commission. So when it comes to Human Resource Management Committee, they look at meeting the demands at the local, looking at the mandate that is placed upon themselves. Because the Commission has delegated authority to employ Division 4s and 3s. So when submissions come as shortfalls from respective departments, the HRMC has the mandate to sit and cause recruitments. So you'd find the situation currently where councils individually are advertising for jobs in those categories, and permission has been given to sit, scrutinize the applications and employ. But it should be in tandem and in line with the establishment. So I observe the critical issue is us going beyond the best establishment. The rationale that we had used at that level was to meet the demands that will help us bring revenue back into the system and also help us pay. I think that's the rationale, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Mwene, then Dr. Mwanza will come with a different one.
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, I would firstly want to find out on page 17 on Appendix 28, failure to settle statutory and other obligations. Chair, on action taken, the CS or Kabombo Town Council has stated that the council has a payment plan to liquidate the past debt and is up to date. I want to find out, Chair, what the council means by up to date. Is it that they have cleared, or up to date with what to start with? I submit, Chair.
We can take another one from Dr. Mwanza.
Before that, Chair, there are other questions after they have responded.
Okay?
Yes, Chair.
Respond to that so that he makes a follow-up.
Okay, quickly, Chair, let me just see bring in Director of Finances to clarify on those.
Thank you very much, Chair. But what we basically meant was the council has been paying the current debt as well as looking at the old outstanding debt. So in our submission, the debt liquidation plan that has been submitted, we are looking at the old outstanding debt. I submit.
Yeah, that language, I'm getting it for the first time to say I'm up to date. Meanwhile, you are still owing. What I thought was when you say you're up to date, it means you have cleared the debt. Anyway, apart from that,
agreeing with you,
yes,
CS and your team, I think in the spirit of prudence, outstanding is outstanding. Whether you inherited a huge debt, it is a debt for Kabompo. So Kabompo owes or is owed is anything that you inherit. So you cannot start segregating that, in 2024 to date we are up to date, but other areas we are not. That is not the way you do things. So I want to guide you. Can you indicate the actual outstanding debt for Kabompo as it stands in the books, not as you individual officers? So I just wanted to give a guidance because this has been coming from other councils I can't mention here. So his question is, you confuse us, but if you have stated that is what is outstanding, good. Make a follow-up.
A follow-up, Chair. The council has said there is a payment plan. According to me, Chair, I've gone to Appendix 14 as stipulated. I haven't seen any payment plan. For example, with the NAPSA, I haven't seen a payment plan with the LASIF and the ZLAU. I haven't seen it. I have only been able to see correspondences with the NAPSA, and of which I don't agree that correspondence is a payment plan. So, Town Council, when do you intend to liquidate the entire how much do you generate annually? I submit, Chair.
Okay, we can combine. Dr. Mwanza, then or follow up on the same. Yes, on the same. From you, it is Dr. Mwanza. Take note of those. We should be taking them in sets. Honorable Pavyuma.
Thank you very much, Chair. Just to augment Honorable Mwene's question, what is your expected revenue from the commercial ventures, and will it be adequate to liquidate the debt that you have? Thank you very much, Chair.
You have taken that one?
Yes, sir.
Your revenue from commercial ventures. Dr. Mwanza, you can come up with this different one. They have to combine.
Thank you, Chair.
What you do, Doc, get two questions first,
yes,
then later on follow up. Okay.
I think they are overloaded, so I'll just make it simple. On page 16 of your submission.
Page 16, let's go to page 16, all of us.
Page 16, there's a query that for failure to install and maintain street lights. This particular one was hit by a motorist, and you have given us a picture on Appendix 13 that the street light is now repaired. The question I have is who bared the cost of erecting this pole? Was it from the fine that the motorist paid, or it was from council's coffers? On the same issue of street lights, on page 18 of your submission, have you have given us a ledger. You have given a ledger on Appendix 16 to show how the 200,000 kwacha of 200 this time of the year. How is the street lighting, status of street lighting? Because from page 13, from appendix number 13, I can see some street lights that are fed, I think, by the grid. They are not solar powered. So how is the situation? Then this procurement of 200,000 kwacha that you have left, these are the monies that are in your account sitting up to 2023, end of 2023, and we are talking of 2025. You are still talking of under procurement. When the people of Kabompo need those street lights, you take 1 year to procure street lights worth 200 kwacha. When you are very much aware, CS, that 200 kwacha worthy of a contract, it can be executed by your office, direct bidding. You don't need to go through EGP. So why the delay to procure these street lights up to more than a year and a half, I think?
You can, you have your directors of engineering and the finance, you can respond to those.
Thank you, Chair. On the first one, let me just invite Director of Finance to take the House on the table on the debt liquidation plan. Thereafter, I think we, Director Engineering, will shed more light on the street that was knocked off and how it was done. So we will proceed in that direction. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think in our submission, I just need, maybe it's because of maybe secretarial error, where maybe just one file was missing, one or maybe one attachment. But when you go through the table number 14, the attachment number 14, I think just the first page there, we have what we're calling debt liquidation plan. And when you just look at the last part, it has indicated the number of months when we are likely to finish off the dates. So we're able to come up with a plan as a result of certain measures that we've put in place. So like an example I'd give is on terminal benefits, we are saying that we are able to, with the measures that we've put in place, we are able to liquidate the debt in 36 months, a loan service bonus in 25 months, salary arrears in 12 months, then settling in allowance 6 months. Then when you look at NAPSA, we are saying 42 months, and Zulao, we are saying 25 months. So that is how we have projected our revenue. Then there was also another question on how much money are we likely to receive from the commercial ventures. I'll just yes, from our current budget, there is a component. So let me just reach there. Okay. So from our current budget, we are saying we are able to raise at least 1.6 million. So this is the funding that will be able to assist us even liquidate the debt. I submit, Chair.
Chair, there was also a question on street lighting. Maybe if I can permit just Director of Finance to chip in and give an overview of the street pole that was knocked off, and also explain on the status of street lighting in Kabompo. Director Engineering.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Can we have the two mics off?
Yeah, thank you so much, Chair. The street light which was bashed was actually replaced by the owner of the vehicle, and it has since been reinstalled and it's operational. Then on the delayed installation of street lights, currently we are undertaking rehabilitation of township roads, since we have now procured a set of earth-moving equipment. So our plan was to do the profiling of the road, then we come to the road infrastructure where we install street light after cutting the drainages. So plans are underway for this year budget I submit.
Sorry,
Follow-up,
just a
Joe?
follow-up, yes. You are saying that the bush street light was replaced by the motorist. How? Because I can see that the motorist paid an admission a fee of guilty of admission of 225 kwacha. So are you saying that the motorist repaired the street light?
Yeah. Chair, sorry.
Just to combine also with the procurement, from your answer, you are saying that you are waiting
Doc,
to...
I'm informed that you are a little bit low. Just amplify your voice a bit.
Okay. For the... I combine with a follow-up question on the procurement of the 200,000 kwacha worth street lights. In your answer, you are saying that you are waiting to rehabilitate the roads. That is when you can erect the street lights or procure the street lights. Are we saying it is a lapse on planning? Because 2023, the street light program was already on your approved list of projects. Now that you have acquired earth-moving equipment, you are saying until you profile the roads in Kabompo Township, and that is when you're going to put the street lights. Are we talking? Are we talking about lack of planning?
Honorable Kalabo, you have a follow-up or it's a new? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe you can combine. You can ask a question as so that after answering to doctor, then they can also attend to your clarification. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I've looked critically on this submission from Kabombo. The people before this committee, Chair.
Yeah, Honorable, maybe we can use the odd name so that our viewers can follow who is before this committee.
The submission from Kabombo, Chair.
Yes.
Especially on the evidence that they've attached to everything they've come, to all the queries that they've come to respond to. That relates to funds. The people before us are learned. They know what they are supposed to do in their offices. When you look at them as they appear, they seem to be lost. They seem not to know, but when they know what they are doing exactly. In finance, if you are mowing Kabompo, CS and your team, then I just prepare Kareja myself, then bring to director finance that, okay, director, I've been paying on such and such a date, I paid so much, without any proof of payment either from the bank or from whichever pay point, even through mobile money. Would you accept that evidence that I've been paying? Obviously, the answer is no, Chair. So there are evidence here in terms of everything. For example, let me take you to Appendix 2, Budget Funding, page 12. Budget funding and expenditure. The query on unspent funds, failure to spend funds amounting to 1,217,673. On the action taken, you have informed this committee that all the funds have been utilized, only 200,000 has remained, and you have referred us to appendix number 6. Let's go to appendix number 6. Chair, when you check on appendix number 6, they've just typed these papers, the ones they are calling ledgers, then they've brought to this committee as evidence on how they've utilized the funds without any payment voucher, without any contract. Let me also take you to page 17. Appendix 29. Failure to settle staff obligations amounting to 3,596,429. You have, on the action taken, you have said you have been paying, and your evidence on appendix 15. We go to appendix 15 where your evidence is. Again, they just sit on a computer and type this courageous and they append their signature. CS and your team, this is a committee of facts. Even in the House, when we do your report, where we'll be presenting this report, Madam Speaker's report, is a house of facts. So these ledgers you have put here, are they going to stand as evidence? You are technocrats who are supposed even to guide us. As we are not technocrats, we are politicians. You should have given us payment vouchers, contracts, indicating that you have been paying. Where are these important documents so that we do a correct report? Because if we accept your report in this fashion, what do you explain? Because there will be questions now. We'll be seated there, 164 people to debate your report, which has got no evidence. Why have you deliberately decided to come to this committee without any single evidence? Because there is no single evidence. A picture, you can take another picture. This new fashion chair of these technocrats coming here with pictures. We don't need pictures here. We need to see payment vouchers. A picture and the other things apart from payment vouchers and contracts should just be meant to augment that evidence. Not you bring a picture, you take a picture of mineral water. I bought mineral water. Sure, you technocrats. Why are you pretending to be confused when you are not, when you know what you are doing? Because me, I don't believe you don't know what you know what you are doing. So where is the evidence? Chairman, we need the evidence. There is no single evidence here. If they can show me, I've looked at this document. There is no single evidence here. Why should you travel from Kabompo to come and appear before this committee without evidence? You just bring the queries that were advanced to you by the AG. You just come to read questions here without any evidence. Why should you do that? Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kalobo. CS, I think the Honorable Member has fully debated the concern, and you need to respond, especially on the last point that the member has indicated. Look at your delegation, and if you are to inform this committee how much resources you have spent to come to this committee without evidence, how will the people of Kabompo look at you? You are aware that you're supposed to provide goods and services to Kabompo, and then auditors come to Kabompo and came across all these inadequacies. Truly speaking, I don't want to believe this is the first time you're coming to this committee. And this committee, as my colleague has indicated, is evidence-based. So anyone would definitely insinuate in a similar manner. Someone would think you misappropriate money and take it for granted that members of parliament are busy people. They will not read. So kindly respond adequately as you also take the follow-up question from Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. I think we'll proceed in this direction. We'll start with the last one. I will invite Director of Finance just to elaborate more on the analysis that has actually made and the submissions that could have been presented. I hope there's some information coming, maybe you can come through, Chair. Then the other part, Director of Engineering will elaborate on the repair and the actual work that were executed on the road where the street lights could have been installed. So proceed in that direction, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Indeed, we've gotten the consensus. And at this point, maybe in our thoughts, we had it on mind that whatever information that we submit to the House is also audited by the Auditor General, because every time whenever they come on the ground, they would also look, they have a specific audit for all the submissions which are made by the PAC. So in our submission, we thought that whatever we are going to submit will still be audited back by the Office of the Auditor General and report back in form of the action taken. However, maybe I know because we've already erred and we have our vouchers already just sitting at the office. Maybe I will just request that maybe before the end of the session, we can just call someone who can just maybe try to scan them and forward them, and then we can just resubmit them in the soft copy. We are just requesting, Chair. Resubmit.
Honorable Kalobo, is that sufficient an answer for you?
Yeah, in some way it is, but we just need to caution them that the vouchers, because we've seen with experience, all the people who have appeared here, the vouchers that have attached, they are not properly acquitted. So let's hope your people are not going to sit on the computer, start typing vouchers that are not properly acquitted. We need properly acquitted vouchers. Failure to that will not accept them, because we need proper evidence as we do. What is at stake is taxpayers' money. If I ask you to account the days you've been here, what you have spent just coming here. So can we have properly acquitted vouchers? Thank you very much, Chair.
Yeah, maybe just to add to the concern, you had time to have these issues resolved with the auditors. And the whole essence of you coming here is to come and show evidence to members of parliament who were not there during the exercise. So to make an assumption that auditors will come back and audit is a wrong one. And like I've indicated, this is not the first time you have appeared. So can we ensure that each time we come to answer these queries, you have all the evidence so that the committee does not waste much of time interrogating issues that are straightforward. There was also a concern from Dr. Mwanza.
Director Engineering, that's on the street lights and the scope of works on the two.
But please ensure that those documents are availed to this committee.
We acknowledge, Chair, we'll make sure that the documents will be availed before the session ends there. Chair, thank you.
Thank you so much. So the question was who had replaced the street light? I think, as I mentioned earlier, the company where the truck which patched the street light belongs paid the penalty fee to the council. Upon that payment, the council now earmarked on the installation of the street light. Then the second question from the dock, I think, was on the delayed installation of inadequate planning on towards us. So I think the hiccup was on in the initial place. We only have the 2 sets of earth-moving equipment, of which we were unable to undertake well-engineered works, of which at the moment now we have a full set of earth-moving equipment, of which we are even undertaking the rehabilitation works. So that's where we were delayed a bit, I submit.
Maybe just to add up, Chair, I think the dock's concern was on the delay and the effect on the other parts. The picture that I gotten from him in his submission was what maybe impact was this delay caused to the other sections. This is just one sector of the road that was earmarked to be worked on, where we designed to place the street lights. It doesn't indicate that the other parts are not street lights. So the stretch that was earmarked to be graded, and as the director is indicating, is where we were supposed to mount this to. This about 30 of these street lights. So that's a secretary I wanted just to amplify, Chair. Thank you. I submit.
CS, thank you so very much. We started our meeting at about 9:30 and this is past 11. I think unless there is anything that is burning from our colleagues or else, then I think this is where we come. We are now coming to the end of our meeting, but may I emphasize that this committee is here to interrogate a lot of issues arising from the auditors. The main questions that members of parliament have asked, they are there to ensure that you reduce the queries. They are there to ensure that goods and services go to the people. Kabompo was not created to create employment for yourselves. It was created to ensure that you provide goods and services to the communities. But if we can be spending huge sums of money with such a delegation and then fail to deliver, then it becomes unfortunate. It becomes unfortunate. So please, let us ensure that as we go back, I encourage you to go and reflect on the main queries that, or main questions that members of parliament have asked, and look at how best you can attend to these issues. When auditors come next time, it's either you have a zero query, because we've discussed these issues. After all, I know even before you came to this committee, you've been able to follow, to see whether you are worthy coming here. But sometimes I don't know what comes to our local authorities. Even when you know that you've run, you are not adequately prepared, you still come and display yourselves with a lot of inadequacies. So please, management, CS, let us sit down and reflect. At this moment, then I withdraw the immunities that were conferred on you, so that from here you are on your own. But please ensure, get in touch with Secretariat for the documents that were not attached, for us to have a complete report to the floor of the House. Thank you so much, and have God's traveling mercies.
Thank you, Chair, and the House at large.
Thank you.